Well, it was a good race for Sacha van Bosch, and that one did finish that race quite comfortably in P3, so a good result. The next race, though, heads out onto the circuit. This is junior qualifying Heat A and D. Thomas Kinsey and Rocco Coronel, they start this one on the front row. Vilmos Svan and Alexis Constant on the second row. Tibor Ramekers and Harry Bartel, they go from row 3 from George Nassar and Arthur Huang, who round out the top 8 on row number 4. Daniel Delakian and Jensen Graham go from row 5 from Clarence Nogueret and Felipe Carras on row number 6. Bertrand Sash and Maximilian Blanchimard round out the top 7 rows with Ivo Thoresen, who took a win earlier on in the conditions. Starts this one on P8 alongside Taran Kinard. Austin Gale and Angelina Poenka go from row 9 from Eden Spanswick, who had a breakdown earlier on. Hopefully his car is all sorted and he can fight back in this one from Liam Halle, rounding out the top 20 on row 10. Yannis Dubois and Senna Munier. Matt Corby rounding out the 23 karts on row 12. And this should be a nice and exciting race as the weather conditions still are worsening. You can barely see the hill on the backside of the circuit. The clouds have come in, low clouds, the rain continuing to fall, but that's not dampening the spirits of the spectators here. The grandstand is still full. People with umbrellas, people who are mad and don't have umbrellas. There are people even more mad who are wearing shorts and still in t-shirts as well. I can't fathom why on earth you wouldn't be wearing a big fluffy coat and slippers right now on a sofa instead of standing outside at a racetrack. I can't even imagine it. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, still, you know, we need to thank the mechanics, of course, on the bridge, but also, you know, the family members, the friends, and the close ones of all the drivers to stay with us under the rain in the grandstands and cheer up for the performances of the young ones and protégés as we get ourselves for the last qualifying heat of this first part of the day. Then we'll have a lunch break and then some more 12 races to live together as Thomas Kinsey, the fastest in qualifying, against Rocco Coronel, who is going to be starting from the outside of the front row with Vilmos Svan and Alexis Constant further back. They are the two drivers leading the classification as it stands, but watch out for the starting procedure.
Kinsey on the left, and it is Coronel on the right. Bad start from Coronel. He gets swamped by the pack, drops down into P4, can switch back, is down the inside there. I think that's George Nassar who's come through in the pink helmet, and it's a pretty decent start, though, from Kinsey. Kinsey holds on to the race lead. There's an energy course there in second, and I think, who is that? Or actually, is that GGM? Not too sure who that is in P2. It's the 15 who's in P2. It's Vilmos Svan, so it's an AD Motorsport car who's on an energy course chassis, I believe.
Yeah, and your current leader of the classification, big contact there.
Tibor Ramekers.
Tibor Ramekers in trouble on the outside, on the way to the hairpin, not where you want to be, as Tibor Ramekers went through some trouble as well in his opening race, but he was one of the top favorites, remember, who made it up into P5 on slick tires in tricky conditions, so he's going to be willing to build up on that performance, unlike some of the strong rivals like Carl Clark or Sacha van Bosch, who went through trouble. Different lines, as we said, either aggressive on the inside or outside of the middle of the track when you want to go for some more grip whatsoever, even though it keeps on pouring rain on the track of Mariembourg. So I do wonder what they're going to be able to find extra grip in those conditions. This particular part of the track, turn number 12, we've seen a couple of drivers going off in that particular part as they make their way back onto the start-finish straight, turn number 1, and already 0.6 of a second between Thomas Kinsey and Vilmos Svan. Alexis Constant down in P3, Rocco Coronel. Then we have Bartel, Ramekers, Graham, Carras, Arthur Huang, and Daniel Delakian running up the top 10.
Again, you can remember a lot of these drivers did only have the slick tyres in their first race when it was the wet conditions, so Thomas Kinsey, who's leads in this race, has got a nice fresh set of boots on that one, unused wet. Well, I say they're unused, they've done a couple of laps now, but yeah, so he'll have a nice optimal grip there. It's down the inside, just trying to go for a move. Alexis Constant, no, not able to do it. So it was Constant who had the decent move at the start of the race. I got the wrong name on that one, so I'll apologise to Alexis on that one. But yeah, up into P3, and right on the tail of Svan here, looks to the inside, and Svan sees it coming and very cleverly just avoids contact there and just moves out the way.
Yeah, this is really the last part of the track that the driver is able to make a difference at a very low speed And once the door gets open, then it's quite easy to get into. And watch out for the battle between Rocco Coronel and Bartel as well, as Harry Bartel dived around the inside of the Dutchman in turn number 12, but carried a little bit too much momentum, as the driver from Victory Lane was able to cross the line and get the place back. Battle for P4, that is, between the top three. As once again, a tiny, slightly bit of a mistake from Rocco Coronel, at least from the angle we can see from outside of turn number 1. Rocco Coronel, remember, was leading one of his previous qualifying heats, before making a slight mistake in turn number 2 that cost him a couple of positions.
Looked like he was going for a move there on the inside of turn 4. No, but down the inside goes Harry Bartel to get another position. So Bartel moves up into P4 now at the expense of Rocco Coronel. Coronel fights back though and has the inside line. Can he hold the momentum? No, he can't. Stays there just behind. He'll have to try and fight to get that battle back. Bartel's moved up quite a few positions in this one now. That's another 2 that he's got. So he's up from P6 now into P4. So he's had a good start in this one. A little further back down the inside there goes the 100. That's Felipe Carras, who's moved up past Thibaut Ramicas. Ramicas under pressure here. As down the inside there as well, you've got the 22, I believe that is.
Let's try to see who that is in a minute. But one of the VDK drivers is trying to get along as well. The 22, that is, further back.
Jensen Graham.
Yeah, well done to you. In the classification way is currently P8. Jensen Graham climbing 2 places. The driver from Fusion Motorsport. And now that's going to be interesting. Look who's coming back into the and already taking the lead. I was going to say we went from 1 full second to 2 tenths, and now being pushed a little bit on the outside of turn number 3 is Thomas Kinsey having to back off. And actually fighting back in front of Alexis Constant. What a beautiful battle it is. We saw Alexis Constant climbing through the ranks of the race and really pushing a lot to get close to Thomas Kinsey, not in the best of positions. And Thomas Kinsey was able to swap positions just after being overtaken. So well done to him. Now all he has to do is to hold on to the lead. But Alexis Constant was very fast in the last lap. That's quite impressive, actually. He lapped 7/10 of a second faster than his opponent in the last lap, and they was able to build that attack in turn number 3, carrying the momentum on the inside. But Thomas Kinsey put himself between the curb and a bit of grass and his opponent, and slightly on the outside he was able to get back into the lead. And one driver off, unfortunately, over there. This is the 100 that is. This is indeed Philippe Carras, who was running a strong P7. And yes, it just dropped 2 position confirmation on your screens, with Jason Graham and Arthur Wong picking up the left pieces. They are now 7 and 8, and Philippe Carras dropped from 7 to 9.
Yes, indeed. Back down the inside there, though, goes Velma Svan, gets that move done and moves up in past Thomas Kinsey, but Kinsey fights back now and moves back up and holds on to that P2 spot. Constant now holding on to that race lead. So, yeah, very interesting developments all the way throughout this one. So, a very good start to the race. Now, to give an update to everyone who is watching at home, and as well as who is at the in the paddock as well, the lunch break will be the same amount of time as what it was originally planned. So we will be 20 minutes delayed after the lunch break. So we're not going to be jumping back out, because everyone at the circuit does need a break, don't they? They're out there, they've been working so hard. You can imagine they need to enjoy that one. So for the viewers at home as well, do expect there will be a 20-minute delay after the lunch break also. So just be aware of that.
So this will be updated on your screens, but we're supposed to get started with the next race at 2:20 local time. So in 25 minutes, but there will be then, as you said, 20 minutes extra. So we will be back certainly between 1:35 and 1:40 local time for some more exciting racing live from Mariembourg. But it's been soaking wet on the track, and the orange army of the karting de Fagnes, as you said, well deserved. A bit of a break at lunchtime. Back to racing, the number 15 of Van Wilmer Van, the Swedish driver from AD Motorsport, and he just lost the lead in the ranking, the provisional classification as it stands, to Alexis Constant, your leader. If Constant wins, well, he will be 3 points clear from Vilnius Van, and in the end of the day, the driver with the less points, which might sound a little bit illogical, but that's the way it is in karting generally. The driver with the less points at the end of the qualifying races will get to finish in the lead, grab all the points that he needs for the classification of the championship, and start the superheat from pole.
Yes, indeed. Chopping and changing, as Kinsey here has got So much pressure here from Svan. Bartel's there as well. Kinsey goes defensive into the corner. That could be a mistake here because then Svan might have the better exit. No, because Kinsey can block that move as they exit out of the corner. Now down in towards turn number 1. This is very fast here as Bartel looks to the inside, but no, Svan goes to the inside. Does he hold it though? Is he going to run wide? Yes, he's going to run wide on the exit, and Kinsey can hold on to this one. This is wet condition defensive driving. It's very, very difficult as contact between the two of them as they bump and barge their bumpers all the way throughout it. And look at it, tipping it in there was Velmasan as now Bartel goes through with that move. So now Bartel up into P3.
And look at the spreads of water. It's like we don't get to see the drivers in turn number 4 anymore with those conditions. And Alexis Constant couldn't be more thankful for the battles behind him as he's been increasing the gap, 3.6 seconds now, and no trouble whatsoever for Alexis Constant on his way to what would be, if he stays like this, its second victory out of 2 races for Constant.
I tell you who's enjoying this battle that's happening in front. I suspect the 2 drivers who are just behind, Thibaut Ramicas and Rocco Coronel, who have now latched onto the rear of this group also once again. There you can still see Kinsey's holding off Svan, who's managed to get back in front of Bartel, and Svan down the inside through turn number 12, but he won't have the exit speed again. You can try again, but you've got to try and hold that inside line. It's just a fine line of millimeters of braking all the way throughout. We go on to the final lap, though. The battle for second place rages on. Alexis Constant is 5.1 seconds up the road, having a nice Saturday drive, I say, in the rain. Bartel looks to the inside here in towards turn number 2. No, unable to do anything. He keep an eye on Ramicas, though. Ramicas is getting very, very close here. Bartel to the inside. No, thinks against it. Oh, but a mistake there from Kinsey, and Kinsey's got the open line now for Svan in towards turn number 4. Can Svan hold it? No, he can't.